Thanks for choosing Fox 10 News on this Sunday morning, July 18th. Happy Sunday. I am Gianni Navarro. Let's first check in with meteorologist Matt Barentine. Matt, good morning. The visibility was a bit tough this morning on the way to work.
A little bit of fog out there. The good news, that won't last long, so it's not going to be a big deal kind of thing. We're just going to be watching out mainly again for, guess what? The rain. It's going to happen again today. Temperatures right now mainly in the mid to upper 70s. It's nice and sticky outside as you would imagine. Here's the radar. There are some showers on, not as active as it was yesterday morning at this time, which is good news, especially for the beaches, because this is where most of the rain happens in the morning down along the beaches. And we can see some rain here around Alabama Port and Dauphin Island. This is all kind of working its way off to the east, so it's moving away from Dauphin Island. It's good news for the folks down there wrapping up the rodeo. Another little shower just off of Fort Morgan. Looks like that might slide right along the coastline there around Gulf Shores and Orange Beach here in a little while. A few light showers inland around Choctaw and Uri and up towards Monroeville. All these once again working to the east. And then the most rain is over here in Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties, where we're seeing a few showers working their way right down Santa Rosa Island over towards Destin, right along the beaches. So a few showers out there this morning, but not the widespread rain here early on. So that's good news. Here's what the futurecast looks like. I wish I had better news for you during the day. You see noontime and say, well, that doesn't look bad at all. Let me hit the button. Let's go to 2. And then you start seeing things bubble on up. Let's go to 3. A lot more bubbling up, especially north of I-10, our metro areas of Mobile. Look at that. In and around Mobile, parts of Baldwin County over into the Panhandle. The Panhandle didn't get as much rain yesterday. I think you'll probably get in on the action here today. And you can see at 4 o'clock showing a lot of rain around Mobile and Baldwin County. So it's rain chances are very high today. All right, so it looks like, though, the morning's doing pretty good. So if you got some things you got to get done and things you want to do outside, do them in the morning. Go for that walk, get that shopping done. Whew. Yeah, it's going to be rough at times this afternoon. You can see those rain chances. Oh, if you're out there trying to do that, you know, tax-free kids shopping, yeah, earlier you get it done, likely the better off you will be. That's how it looks here for today. We'll check out the rest of your work week forecast, the tropics, all that good stuff coming up in just a few minutes.
Matt, thank you. Breaking right now, the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office is investigating an officer-involved shooting. They tell us that around 2 this morning, law enforcement officers from several agencies were in the area of Interstate 10 and Highway 181 searching for a convicted felon who had a firearm. Now, the Major Crime Unit says officers received information that the person was armed and involved in another officer shooting. Investigators say that Daphne Police Department and Baldwin County deputies tried to approach the suspect, and when they did, the suspect attempted to drive off and an officer shot him. Now, we're told no officers were injured, but the suspect died from the gunshot wound. The investigation is still ongoing. We'll be sure to bring you updates on air and online as soon as we get them. The U.S. Navy is commissioning a new ship in honor of the late Congressman and civil rights icon John Lewis. The USNS John Lewis, christened 1 year after Lewis's death. The John Lewis is an oiler and logistics ship that will keep others in the fleet replenished with fuel and supplies. Those who knew Lewis say the ship having a non-combat role is a fitting testament to his commitment to nonviolence.
I think given the mission of these vessels, the unarmed, non-violent means of executing that mission, that is wholly right to name this new class of vessels after civil rights icons throughout our history. Men and women who fought for our collective dignity and human rights courageously and non-violently.
How perfect it is that the motto of this ship, the ship bearing his names, is unremarkable perseverance. Unremarkable perseverance. For this ship will be a beacon to the world, reminding all who see it of the persistence and courage of John Lewis.
The ship is the first in its class. It's 746 feet long and it will have about 100 civilian mariners on board. 6 more ships still yet to be built will also be named after civil rights leaders. This weekend also marked the tragic 7-year anniversary of the death of Eric Garner after dying in a chokehold by a New York police officer. The Reverend Al Sharpton is joining in on a call for justice. The same week, an appeals court called for a judicial inquiry into Garner's 2014 death. In a case reminiscent of George Floyd, Garner told officers he could not breathe while they restrained him on Bay Street in Staten Island. Saturday, at that exact spot, civil rights activists and his family, including his mother and his young daughter Legacy, rallied to call for justice. Advocates say they'll be back to protest on Bay Street every year until there's finally justice for Eric Garner. A Mobile doctor who's accused of manslaughter has filed a motion asking for permission to leave Alabama for a family vacation. Court documents just obtained by FOX10 News shows Jonathan Nakla wants to visit South Carolina for a family vacation. It says he plans to stay with in-laws and that he won't operate a car. The state is asking that motion be denied. Nakla is accused of driving drunk, which led to a crash that killed local medical student Samantha Thomas last August. A hearing is set for tomorrow to decide whether the vacation can happen. A Daphne duo remains behind bars charged with incest. That's according to the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. These two, Patrick and Stacy Gunter, were arrested Friday. Both are facing felony incest charges. However, Stacy Gunter is also charged with misdemeanor bestiality. Deputies telling FOX10 News the case involves a minor and that the investigation is ongoing. Patrick Gunter's bond is set at $30,000 and Stacy's was set at $16,000. A local restaurant erupting in flames yesterday afternoon on Airport Boulevard. It happened at the Texas Roadhouse. Several employees said the fire alarm going off isn't a new thing. They've had many false alarms. Yesterday, most of the employees kept working, thinking it wasn't that serious until all of a sudden it was. You can see fire coming from the top of the building as the staff stands out in the parking lot. Meanwhile, the other restaurant staff rushed to evacuate everyone from the building. Several mobile fire rescue units were called to the scene, quickly getting the blaze under control.
A little nervous, but we're all safe. Everyone's safe, thank God.
Yes. Wait, what was the thing that you said? Take a...
Mobile Fire Rescue ruled the fire is accidental, saying there were no injuries and that the fire damage was confined to the kitchen and AC unit on top of the building. This video coming in out of Northwest Florida, several Okaloosa County fire departments responding to a house fire on Owens Road in Laurel Hill just after 7 last night. Now, according to the Okaloosa County Sheriff, the homeowner was burned during that fire. We're told the injuries are minor, but the person was taken to the hospital. The Mobile Fire Rescue Department held the first smoke alarm blitz of the year Saturday, all in an effort to prevent fire-related injuries at home. Mobile firefighters going door to door to install free smoke alarms in neighborhoods in the Toulminville community. Since the beginning of 2021, the city of Mobile has seen 5 fire-related fatalities and dozens of fire-related injuries. A majority of fires happening in Toulminville neighborhoods. Stephen Millhouse with Mobile Fire Rescue says working smoke alarms are an essential part of home fire safety. Toulminville resident Samuel Edwards told FOX10 News it had been 10 years since he's had a working fire alarm.
1,000 times better.
Yeah, do you feel safer now?
Yes, I live here by myself and I can rest better now.
Mobile Fire Rescue were able to install 3 smoke alarms in a matter of 10 minutes in Edwards' home. The department plans to host another smoke alarm blitz in a different Mobile community quarterly. And Mobile Fire Rescue Department says you don't have to wait for a smoke alarm blitz to get your hands on a smoke alarm. A link to how you can register can be found on our website, fox10tv.com. Los Angeles County brings back its mask mandate after a recent massive spike in cases. The indoor mask mandate went into effect at 11:59 p.m. last night, requiring county residents to mask up regardless of vaccination status. Almost all new health cases are unvaccinated patients, and folks are divided on the county's decision.
I'm tired of this pandemic. There's no man. I'm not wearing any masks. I'll put on a monster mask before I put on a mask. Duly necessary. I think just to stem down the spread, to circumvent it, I think it's very necessary in order to nip this virus in the butt.
Other California areas have different guidelines, with many counties like San Francisco and Sacramento now recommending everyone wear masks indoors. Meanwhile, Mobile County and county leaders are worried about a recent surge in COVID-19 cases. Elected and health leaders sounding the alarm, reminding Mobilians that the pandemic is not over and that we could be seeing a new surge, even though numbers are still better than they were late last year and in early 2021. They say the numbers are still troubling. Alabama remains near the bottom of the country in vaccination rates, with declining vaccinations, cases, hospitalizations, and the percentage of people testing positive for COVID-19 are up. Health professionals say nearly all the new cases and deaths from the virus are among unvaccinated. The chief medical officer at the Mobile County Health Department says young adults seem to be testing positive the most. Doctors did say a handful of people who have been fully vaccinated have still tested positive for the virus, and a few have died. But they say the majority of people vaccinated have less severe symptoms than those who are not. The first case of COVID-19 appears in Tokyo's Olympic Village, with the Games less than a week away. Tokyo 2020 CEO Toshiro Muto said in a presser the individual is a foreign national and is believed not to be an athlete. The person has since been taken into quarantine outside of the village. So far, there have been a total of 45 COVID-19 cases linked to the Tokyo Olympics, with athletes, officials, and contractors testing positive for the virus.